People say children don't understand shame. They're wrong. I understood it very well at 12 years old. I grew up in a small province in the Philippines where everyone knew my father's name. Unfortunately, they also knew his business. He owned a brothel just a few streets away from my elementary school. There is a special kind of humiliation that comes from walking past classmates who smirk, like they know something about you. They would ask if I washed the sheets, if I folded the girls' clothes, if I was training to work there someday. Children learn cruelty from adults. They just make it louder. My father didn't care. Or maybe he did. But money spoke louder than his daughters ever could. Sometimes he would send me there with a change of clothes. I was 12, walking into rooms filled with cigarette smoke and heavy laughter. Men would stare too long. A few tried to brush their hands against me, testing boundaries the way predators do. I learned to move fast. I learned to shout when necessary. I learned that being loud was safer than being polite. Mostly, I learned to be angry. Then one afternoon, without warning, my father brought home 2 puppies. It almost felt like an apology. Mine was small and dark, with a serious little face. I named him Hades because I liked the idea of something powerful guarding something fragile. Maybe I wanted him to guard me. For a year, I poured everything into that dog. I fed him before I fed myself. I washed him in a plastic basin under the sun. I cleaned every mess he made without complaint. I tried to teach him to sit, to stay, to shake. He never mastered the tricks, but he always tried. And that was enough. Hades was the first thing in my life that felt like it was mine and only mine. He didn't look at me like I was my father's daughter. He didn't laugh. He didn't whisper. He just loved me. Then one afternoon, I came home from school and heard a sound I still sometimes hear in my dreams. Thuds. I turned the corner and saw my father holding a sack. It moved. I knew immediately. I screamed, I ran. I pulled at him, I begged. He didn't stop. When it was over, he didn't even look at me while he explained. We need meat. That was it. That was the value of the only thing I loved. I watched him butcher my dog. I watched smoke rise from the cooking pot later that evening. I felt something inside me change shape permanently. Grief is heavy. Rage is lighter. Rage lets you move. So I moved. I walked to the brothel and started destroying what I could reach. Bottles shattered. Chairs overturned. I remember the sound of glass breaking more clearly than I remember my own crying. It felt like breathing for the first time. When I got home, everyone was furious. Money lost. Customers scared away. Reputation damaged. No one mentioned Hades. My sister, the one person I thought would stand beside me, just shook her head. You shouldn't get attached to dogs, she said. As if love was foolish. As if love was optional. That night we were served meat. I didn't say anything while she ate. When she finished, I told her. The silence that followed was colder than anything I'd ever felt. My father's anger doubled because she was his favorite. I had hurt the wrong person. Not him, not his business. Her. And yet I didn't regret it. Not the destruction. Not the confession. Not the fury. Something in me had snapped. But something else had formed in its place. A quiet promise. If they could treat love like it was disposable, I would stop offering mine freely. After that day, I made myself difficult in small, calculated ways. I spoke less. I obeyed less. I made sure my resentment was felt, even if it was never acknowledged. I was only 12. There was only so much damage I could do. But I did what I could. Years later, people talk about forgiveness like it's a requirement for healing. Maybe it is for some. For me, healing was surviving. Healing was leaving. Healing was building a life where no one could take something. I loved and call it dinner. And to this day, when I think about that night, about the shattered bottles and the broken silence, I still don't regret it. Not even a little.